Today I want to talk about growing American chestnut. Now on our property we grow Chinese chestnut, and now we're going to try American chestnut. And it's kind of one of those iconic American trees that was native and very prolific in the eastern portions of the United States, all the way up from Pennsylvania down into Mississippi and the Appalachians. And in the early 19th century, the chestnut blight came in and kind of wiped it out over about 4 decades. Now, pretty tragic because it was a very dominant tree. It made up a good percentage of forest, deciduous forest over there. It was a real important, lumber, wildlife, food for people, livestock, pigs, cattle. Often people in the Appalachians would graze their pigs and cattle in the fall underneath these kind of chestnut forests. And so huge producers, massive tree, very rot resistant, great lumber. And then we have, these iconic American cultural pieces like this. And in fact, you'd probably recognize, the song that all sticks with us around Christmas time, chestnuts roasting over an open fire. Okay, and it comes from that because it was so prolific. Now it's pretty much non-existent. Now it's not eradicated. It wiped it out, and there's little pockets over on that side of the country where you will find chestnut still growing, American chestnut. And the interesting thing is the trees. The problem with it, the blight comes in and kills the tree, but because chestnut is a coppicing or pollarding type of tree, in other words, you cut it down, it's going to grow back from the base, like a maple tree or something like that. And so it does that. It does that. You can go into deciduous forests on the East Coast and find chestnut, but it's going to be young chestnut, and most of them do not really even get to the producing stage. Now, there's lots of people doing amazing work trying to preserve American chestnut or working with hybrids, that kind of thing. So we figured we'd give it a shot here. Again, we grow Chinese chestnut. That's kind of our staple chestnut, but we want to grow the iconic American chestnut as well. And so we're trying that here. The blight actually never really came this far west. We're in North Idaho. You will find American chestnut on the west coast, usually in landscape type plantings and parks, different things like that. Here in North Idaho, in Coeur d'Alene, you can find chestnut doing just fine. So we know that it can be done here without blight. Now, where do we get our? We got ours from forest nurseries, university forest nurseries. And so we're going to give it a shot. So we're growing a couple, or actually we got 5 in 2 different nurseries right now. One is up here on our deck, and just in a real, kind of tight little tree nursery behind me, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. And then in another kind of a more production type tree nursery along a swale, where we have trees, 1 foot spacing, 50 trees in a row, all different kinds. So we're doing a few down there as well. Ultimately, our goal is this. We'd love to have an American chestnut thrive on our property and, kind of be able to demonstrate that. We're going to keep the best one that's down there along that swale. Eventually that swale is going to be planted out. Right now it's a tree nursery. It's going to get planted out. And so whatever one does best down there is going to stay in place. We're going to move at least a couple into our pig paddocks where we already have apple, chestnut, mulberry, hazelnut. We're trying some walnut and some oak in there as well. Okay, so we're kind of, really want to outfit and move to a tree crop type system and with our animals. And so we're going to try that. So I'm going to show you real quick what we have here. You can see it right here. There's our American chestnuts doing well here. And again, it's just these little seedlings right now. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, here's a picture of our seedlings here, American chestnut, And that's windy today, you can tell that. I just wanted to show it to you real quick. And here's a real good kind of example here. You can see that it's alternate. The leaves themselves are simple, and they are kind of a, I don't know, a cross between ovate and lanceolate, you know, lance shaped, kind of an oval, kind of a cross between there, and you know, different species of chestnut are a bit different like that. And you know, let's see, Castanea dentana, Latin for teeth, right, where we get the term dentist, and you can see that there. It's a great tree. I can't wait to see how it does here on our site. Hopefully it does really well.